that. Never mind.
Okay. Um, so, hi guys, I'll start off by introducing ourselves and our organization. So, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Speak Up, where we give people access to digital resources to promote social justice and take civic action. My name is Muskan Habaya, and I'll be your host for today. And today's forum will give us a chance to look into how we can unlock youth power for a stronger East Africa, and most importantly, what role ISAC plays in that. For those of you who don't know, ISAC is the world's largest youth-run organization that provide young people with leadership development and cross-cultural exchange for internship and volunteer opportunities. Today, we are lucky enough to be joined by a panel of ISAC leaders from across East Africa. And I'd like to give them all a chance to introduce themselves. They can tell us a little bit about themselves and their role in ISAC. We'll start off with Hanifa, ladies first, and then followed by Quincy, Robert, and then finally Trevor.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Nakalubi Hanifa. I'm Ugandan by nationality, and I'm from AIESEC in Uganda. My role at AIESEC in Uganda, I'm a finance manager, but I'm also the former president of AIESEC in one of the local chapters, specifically AIESEC in Chambogo. And I'm happy and privileged to be on this panel today.
Thank you so much. Robert, you can go on next.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope all you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, can
Okay.
hear.
Yeah. My name is Robert Kasele. I serve as the local chapter president for AIESEC University of Dar es Salaam here in Tanzania, and I'm more than honored to be part of the panel for the Speak Up East African Integration Forum. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Quincy.
Okay, so thank you. My name is Quincy Mogaka. I'm the president of AIESEC in Strathmore University, local entity in Kenya, and I'm really glad and excited to be in this forum. So, yeah, can't wait to see what goes on.
Thank you, Quincy. And last but not least, Trevor.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Trevor Mudloka. I'm a vice president for incoming global volunteers at AIESEC in Strathmore, and I'm very honored to be part of this panel. Ah, thank you
Thank
for
you so
giving me this
much.
opportunity.
No worries. Thank you. Thank you all for taking the time to be here and to educate us a bit more on what ISAC does. So to begin with, I wanted a brief statement from all of you on how ISAC has impacted you as an individual. Quincy, you can go first, and then Robert and Trevor. Hafsa seems to have dropped. Hanifa seems to have dropped off the call. Yeah.
All right. So, how AIESEC has impacted me.
Yes.
Okay. So to be brief about it, I think AIESEC has impacted me in terms of leadership and the public speaking and team management. There's so much I can go on into the impact of AIESEC that has had in my life. But in one statement, I'd say it has made me a better person in general. So yeah.
Great. Thank you for that, Robert.
Okay. For me, I could sum it up into basically two parts. I would begin with the skills and growth I get to experience from ISEC. I get to learn about different skills, whether it's team leadership or organization skills. Basically, get to build myself more as a person. I also got a lot of exposure in networking within the organization. I got to meet with a lot of big people under the ISEC network or even outside the ISEC network. So yeah, it has really thrown me out there. Yeah, and I'm still trying to push more on my network side. Yeah.
That's really nice. Trevor, you can go next.
Okay, so if I could just summarize what I've really gained as a person from ISEC is one, I really struggled with confidence, but thanks to ISEC, I've been able to improve a lot more in terms of how I interact with people, how I feel about myself also as well. Because in ISEC, I've been exposed to a lot of external factors that I wasn't used to, like being pushed out of my comfort zone. This made me realize that, sometimes you're not really smaller than your problems. So that's one thing also ISEC has taught me, that you can be larger than the problems that you have. And also the management skills are like, these are things which you're not really taught innately, but ISEC gives you that exposure of managing a team, also planning an event and stuff like that. And it has really made me grow a lot in terms of also management. And yeah, also just grow as a person, as Quincy has said.
Hi. Okay, Hanifa, you dropped off for a second, but everyone is just saying what impact Isaac has had on them as individuals.
Okay, thank you so much. To summarize the impact that has had on me is really a tough question because for the years that I've been in the organization, I've gained a lot of leadership skills, and the organization has given me an opportunity to expose myself as a young person here in Uganda to what's outside there. So working in diverse teams on diverse projects has really exposed me and given me the opportunity to meet different people because to be able to sit on a table of intellectuals, you must be contributing something to that table. So it has given me the opportunity to gain that exposure, but also it has groomed me in various ways, not to mention leadership skills.
That's really great. So, as you all know, we're here to basically show people how ISAC can improve regional integration. So, Hafsa, while we're still at you, what do you think, from your perspective, being that you've been the president of an ISAC entity at a point, what are the benefits of regional integration for the youth like us?
I don't know if that's directed to me, but I'll take it away. I believe the role of ISEC in this position for to help enable regional integration, it gives young people the opportunity to see beyond their community, to see beyond their country, and be able to compete on a regional scale and also maybe on a global scale. So I believe ISEC gives you that opportunity as a young person.
Yeah, that's actually really true. And I feel like there's so many factors hindering regional integration right now. And ISAC does help ease those problems and make it a lot easier to have regional integration. I'll just throw the question over to Trevor. What do you think are some of the problems that the youth are facing that's hindering regional integration at the moment? Oh, sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Okay, yeah. So I was just asking Trevor, what do you think are the problems that are hindering regional integration for the youth at the moment?
The problems that are currently hindering the youth from regional integration sometimes is, I always use the whole process of also borders. Like, the thing is, getting to interact with people from other countries a bit difficult when you're not given that opportunity. So the opportunity is also a bit lacking right now, which hinders the youth because of that whole border. Like, for example, I'm in Kenya. How will I get to, collaborate with someone in Tanzania when I don't really visit Tanzania that often? Or I don't really get that, like that opportunity to go to Tanzania? Or how will I collaborate with someone from Rwanda if I don't get the opportunity to go to Rwanda for like a collaborative event or something of that nature? So giving those opportunities to youths will be, one of the that's basically one of the problems I think is facing the regional integration. Also, to some extent, understanding the different cultures, because I feel like you can't really collaborate if you don't understand each other. So, like, that's another problem that we'll have an issue with regional integration, is just understanding the different cultures that also within the regions in question. Um, Another problem I'd say is maybe, I think I'd list those two as the main problems in my opinion: opportunities and cultural differences.
Okay, yeah, that's actually a really valid point. The cultural differences and barriers, which is why regional integration is so important so that we can break those barriers. Um, Quincy, I'd just like to pose a question to you now. Um, how do you believe ISAC is contributing to regional integration and making it easier to get rid of these barriers that we have?
Right. Um, so I think ISEC contributes greatly to regional integration through our exchange programs. Um, we aim to provide cultural understanding, cross-cultural understanding, sorry, to people from different regions. So um, through me going to, let's say, Tanzania for a volunteering program, I get to understand how the people think. I get to understand their cultures, and I get more to integrate into them through a practical experience. So yeah, I think that's one way that ISEC does in terms of bridging the cultural integration.
Okay, thank you for that. Um, just while we're on this topic, I think I'd like to now switch over to Robert and ask, what skills does Isaac provide that makes the experience different from like a whole other experience?
Well, when it comes to ISEC as a development organization, they basically focus on soft skills, the stuff that you don't get to learn in class. Well, you get to learn programming, you get to learn mathematics, but when it comes to like practical sales skills, or if you're working in the business development department, if you're the skills that actually push you forward as a person, that have like an added advantage, whether or not they're not written on your CV. Let's say confidence comes as a skill, but it isn't written per se on a CV. But an individual who is more powered when it comes to confidence is more likely to pursue more opportunities and get them than an individual who is less powered when it comes to confidence. So generally, to sum it up, basically, ISEC provides a person with uh, soft skills that basically develop him and push him forward through taking on more opportunities for themselves.
Okay, I like that you mentioned opportunities. What type of opportunities does Isaac offer?
Well, directly, we have ISEC products that fall under the GV and GT, which are just fancy words for exchange programs and internship programs. Yeah. So exchange program is a product that ISEC has to allow youth to participate in volunteering for projects abroad. And internship basically says for itself. It's an internship program that allows a youth to take up internship opportunities in companies or partners that work with ISEC.
Okay, that's great. As Isaac in Dar es Salaam, do you have particular opportunities that are available at the moment for volunteer or internship?
Well, yes, actually. Personally, my LC does GV, which is the exchange part, and we also have the internship part is held by the national team, but we also do offer those opportunities in our LC. For the exchange programs, we do have like 3 opportunities that allow people to come in the country and do them. 3 projects. I mean, we have the global classroom project, which is basically an educational project. People come here and teach. We have Skill Up project, which is basically centered around ICT and information systems development. Yeah, so people get to work in that sphere, that space. We also have green leaders, which is something we are working on currently. It is basically around the environmental aspect and um, green. How do you say it? How do you say it? Improvement of the environment. That is basically it. For internships, yeah, we have partnered up with a couple of companies here in Dar es Salaam and in Tanzania at large, and we do offer. Last week, 2 weeks ago, we had internships with regards to financial analysts and financial intern associates. Yeah, we did launch them like 2 weeks ago, and we're still accepting applications. Yeah, so those are like roughly two of the opportunities we offer when it comes to exchanges and internships.
Okay, that's really great. So you mentioned soft skills. I'd like to now pose the question to Hafsa. Sorry, one second. Yeah. I'd like to now pose the question to you and ask, how important do you think soft skills are?
This is to me, right?
Thank
Yeah, to
Oh, it's
Hanifa, yeah.
Tanif. Ah, okay.
thank you so much. Um, Soft skills, I believe they are the only skills that can ever get a young person to wherever they want to be. However much we go to school and study a specific kind of course in a specific field, you do not have the luxury of competing with other 100 or 1,000 students in your university and also the country at large. It's it's renowned everywhere. The number of graduates that all universities produce per year are not directly proportional to the jobs available in the market. So, as a young person, how do you position yourself to compete with all the other different other graduates on this limited number of jobs or opportunities? So, soft skills are what gives you an added advantage as a young person. For example, if let's say they are hiring uh, a data analyst, what makes you different from all the other 1,000 applicants? Being able to do what's outside your job description. Let's say, for example, you can communicate well, you can sell. Of course, you're not going to be seated on your desk all year round. You're going to have to meet, let's say, clients, partners, and in that case, how do you communicate? How do you sell the company that you're working for? These are small things that actually give you an added advantage, and this is where the soft skills comes from. Things like negotiation. You're not going to go to university and learn how to negotiate, but when you're applying for a job, certain jobs you will have to sell for the company. So negotiating deals for that company is something that you're not maybe taught in university, but AIESEC gives you that platform to gain these extra skills that help you compete with other young person. So I believe in this perspective, that's how soft skills are very important.
Okay, and just to add on to that, do you think soft skills are contributing to the development of East Africa, especially when it comes to the youth?
Yes, they are very much. And if given much attention, the attention they deserve, they could lead to actually a more developed East African region. Feels like exposure. There is no way you're going to be comfortable to step out from your country and say, I'm going to Tanzania and I'm doing a volunteering project. It's only when you're exposed and you're that inquisitive young person when you take on the mantle. So yeah, that's what I really believe.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Hanifa. Quincy, Isaac talks about impact a lot. Could you maybe share with us a scenario of how an exchange program with Isaac or membership with Isaac has impacted an individual, if it's yourself or if it's someone who has actually gone on exchange, and how that impact helped them out in the long run?
All right. So I'll start with membership. So with impact in membership, I give a scenario last year where we had a youth month in our campus. For this event, we managed to partner with companies like Old Mutual and Soul Generation. And there is one particular session where my classmate attended, which was masterclass with Soul Generation. The general manager, Nanjara, I think, was the speaker for the event. So from that event, I think he got to see something that he was interested in terms of working with Soul Generation. And actually, from the discussions they had after the talk with the general manager and the team, he managed to get a sort of part-time job with Soul Generation. I don't know the information about it, but I think it has been impactful to him. I've actually seen the impact that that working environment has had in terms of how he conducts himself. So that's one way. In terms of global talent, sorry, exchange, um, I'd give a situation in 2017. The the former VP of Vice President of Global Talent went for an internship opportunity in Hungary, and until now he's still working there. His name is Kit, and until now he's still working there in Hungary. And I think that's been a prime example of how exchange can impact one's life. So from 2017 till now, still working the same company in Hungary. So yeah.
That's really great to hear. Just to move forward with that, AIESEC has a global network, and that could help ease regional integration. So, how far does your network extend, and how do you guys stay in relationship with one another, and how can we, as regular citizens, use that to bridge barriers and gaps? Yeah.
Is this to me? Hello? Muskan, can you hear me? Okay. Can
I
any
think having internet issues, but I think you can take on the question.
okay. Could you repeat the question if you had it well? I didn't hear it quite well.
Okay, she asked about IFEC having a very broad network and how could the citizens also take on such a thing, and also asked how big your network is and how do you keep the connection between your network.
Okay. So I'll just answer in terms of the global network we have in AIESEC. Um, I just give a brief example from my own personal experience. So, being a vice president of an exchange portfolio, you get to interact with so many different people from different countries because you're sending people to their countries. And within these processes, you get to make friends through the connections we have. So, and also through the conferences we go to. For example, myself coming to Achievers Conference in Tanzania, I met people from Germany, people from Uganda, and people from Tanzania. And a prime example is Robert, and we managed to keep that connection till now as he is here on the call. And also, it helps in building partnerships not only for the entity, but also hopefully in future when we work together. So just keep that connection by constantly, not constantly, but occasionally communicating to them, sharing opportunities when we can or when we have that, and ensuring that we have a fruitful partnership and friendship. So, yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you for that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, sorry about that.
No.
I think I'll now go over to Trevor. Could you take us through how someone can come to Kenya, for instance, for volunteer opportunities or go to Tanzania, Uganda? What does that process look like?
Okay, so I'm going to take it first from the angle of someone coming to Kenya on opportunity. So the first step obviously is usually we advertise the opportunities on our platforms, which is isec.org, where under isec.org you'll see you can either split it into a volunteer opportunity or an internship, which is the global talent. So that's either global volunteer or global talent. Then you can apply for either depending on which country you want to go to. Then after that, there'll be someone who will take you through the procedures such as visa documentations, and also how to keep track of each step of you coming to that country. For example, if you're coming to Kenya, the person who's in charge of you in your country through ISEC, that is, will be able to guide you on what documents that are needed. They'll also keep contact with us so that we can tell them about things like airport pickups, stuff like where you'll be staying, can organize stuff like that. And also, we'll also match you. For example, if it's a global volunteer, we'll match you to the right project that you've applied for. Like, as you've applied for Global Classroom, for example, we'll match you to them. We'll approach the opportunity provider, for example, or the partner that we have partnered with. We debrief them about it. We basically prepare the venue for you to come, like where you'll be working. And then, as for going abroad, similar process now as again, as I've said, you have the person who will take you through the whole process. For example, in Kenya, you want to go to Tanzania, you'll have someone take you through where to get the necessary documentations that you need to go to Tanzania with. You get assistance with reaching out to someone in Tanzania to ensure that your accommodations are they're all taken care of. Your transportation will also be. They'll ensure that you know how you're going to end up there, and it'll also ensure that you're matched to someone who will also take care of you when you're in that country as well. So yeah, it just needs for you to apply for the opportunities on isec.org, and the process will be initiated.
Okay, that's actually really cool because it gives people a platform where all the opportunities are accessible at the same place. Just to move forward from that, what role can we as citizens of East Africa play in the process of regional integration and easing that process in collaboration with ISAC?
Okay, the first angle, which will be the primary angle, which any citizen can help out in, is by providing us with what we call accommodations, or what we call in ISEC global hosts. So for that, we'll need someone who is willing to be able to host these exchange participants, or these people who are coming from another country in their home, so that they're able to carry out the project. So you'll be able to assist them with accommodations, basically meaning that you'll ease in the cost for them to be able to travel and to partake in a project in another country. You'll also get a cross-cultural experience through that whole process because, again, regional integration is all about collaborating. You're getting to spend time with someone from another country, getting to understand how they live, how they do the things in the country they come from, and you get a better understanding of that country. And in the long run, is if you want to collaborate with the country, you need to understand its people. So that's one way which you'll be able to help in also, improving regional integration and also our ISEC operations. Also, there's an angle for an organization, which is by partnering up with us to provide us opportunities, whether it be GT, where they provide us an internship opportunity where they open positions for interns from other countries to come, or a global volunteer where they set up a project with us so that a volunteer or someone from another country can basically come and participate in that project and create impact. Basically, create an impact in the region while also collaborating with the people from that region. So, yeah, there's that role that both an organization can play and a citizen can play.
Okay, that's thank you so much for that, Trevor. Robert, kuna swali. When one comes for volunteer opportunities in Tanzania, ni kazi tu ama kuna sherehe?
Yeah, that is also part of the package. Yeah. Kuna sherehe ndio. Yes, that part is there. And now I do understand what Kenyans mean by sherehe. So yeah, and they say there is.
Sawa
Yeah,
sawa.
we have a lot of cool places you can visit, cool tourist attractions, cool places you can go sightseeing. Even after your experience as a volunteer, yeah, you can basically how do you say it? Categorize your time. You can have like 6 weeks here and do your volunteering experience for some time, and then finish the rest as full sherehe for the rest of the week.
Hey, that's nice. Okay, so you mentioned package. Could you maybe break down for us what a package entails and what it consists of?
Well, with the with the with our experience here when it comes to exchange, we um, provide the accommodation, which is catered for with the project fee. We also provide like an EP buddy and the TN taker. Also, it depends with the project you're doing. Some projects do have meals, some projects don't have meals. It depends. Yeah, but most of them are like really close proximity, so you don't have to like go really far. And the engagement is very nice since it's the accommodation or the house. It's accommodation is kind of different. I was speaking to Kenyan counterparts. They have the global host thing where a person gets to house like a volunteer, but for us it's kind of different. We rent out the whole place, we rent out the whole house for our volunteers so they can have the whole house to themselves. But most of our AIESEC friends usually come up to that place. Some of them get to sleep there and all that, but it depends with whatever the volunteer wants. But the place is all up for takes. So the accommodation is there, the EP buddy will be there, the engagement will be very fine. The project is great. Your response will be taken into action if there's something you feel that isn't up to standard or you want it changed. It will be changed. When it comes to sherehe, I think I have seen what I have seen what Kenyans want. So yeah, sherehe is part of the package. Yes, you can also go for like we have this we partnered up with uh what's his name? He owns a tourist company, so that is also part of the package, but it's not included in the exchange package. But we'll give it to you if you're interested. So yeah, if you're interested, you can. He was actually an AIESEC alumni. But he then works with AIESEC now. He owns a tourism company, so we just go up to him and tell him we have like a couple of volunteers interested with like touring the country. Yeah, he has like really large packages, and some packages are like really small and affordable, and others are like medium range. So it comes down to your budget, but there's a lot to see. Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting. Hadi mi pia nataka kuja Tanzania sasa. Um, so Hanifa, just to ask, with the current economic situation that we're facing in the region, the high cost of living and all of that, why would I pick to travel with ISEC or go on exchange with ISEC as opposed to traveling on my own?
Thank you so much. Traveling with ISEC is the cheapest and easiest way for any young person that would love really to travel. First of all, you're traveling with a purpose in mind that you're going to create impact, but also you're going to grow as a young person. And why it's really cheaper given the current economic situation is that all ISEC projects provide accommodation. You've had the case of Kenya, they have global hosts. So there is a family that's going to take like care of you. They provide you with accommodation. Tanzania has uh, accommodation arrangements. It's the same thing with coming to Uganda. All projects have hosts. They are also called global hosts, but also they are the opportunity providers. So they are our partners. So that means you're in safe hands. So it really becomes cheaper in a way that you only need to cover the bare minimum of the fees, the project fees and the exchange fees only. And then you have a place to sleep for 6 weeks. Um, if you could put it in context, sleeping in a foreign country for 6 weeks, if you could imagine how much that would cost you, let's say in a hotel or in a minimum kind of like accommodation situation, it's really a lot. And some of all these projects provide at least a meal, where some maybe don't provide, but there are others that provide a meal or two. Like for example, Isaac in Chambogo has a project that provides almost 2 meals a day. So that means you only have to cater for maybe an extra meal if you want to, or even don't have to spend on meals at all. So traveling with ISEC becomes the easiest way. And also it's very safe because you have a contact person in your own country, but also you have another contact person in the country you're going to. And these are not only just one person, there are actually a number of people who are ISECers. They're not random people. So you're assured of your safety and anything that concerns you. Both countries are always in communication and always in touch. It seems strange, but it's so easy to keep communication within the ISEC network. For example, just like you see us on this platform, it's so easy to keep this communication happening than when you're traveling on your own on a different arrangement with a different maybe organization and such a thing. So ISEC gives you that affirmation that first of all you'll be safe and you're not going to spend really a lot. Yeah, so I find that really very cheap for any young person who is traveling, given the current economic situation.
Okay, I'm glad you addressed the issue of safety because I was actually going to ask on that. That would be a major concern for most parents. And yeah, it's really nice to see that ISAC has safety measures in place just because of the security issues that we have within the region. Maybe just to finish off, I'd like to pose a question to all of you. What would you advise the youth of East Africa to do? Maybe the youth who are afraid of leaving their individual countries. Um, what's your advice to them? Quincy, you can go first, and then
Okay. Of course, my first advice is join ISEC. Why do I say this? I think ISEC is such a great platform for any person, any youth within school, because you get to do a lot of things that you wouldn't do in a normal classroom setting. So, I think, for example, most of the people here, I think actually all of them who are in ISEC, have solved a lot of issues to deal with, teams to deal with, projects. I can give you an example. Last year, it was an event where we had to put 500 people in a room. 2 minutes, I mean, 10 minutes to the event, we had zero people in that room. And I can tell you after the event, you managed to get 250 people to fit in the room. And that was all on the go. It required everyone on the team to think on their feet, to mobilize their teams, and to also go and get people, literally pluck them from the school and tell them to come to the event, actually convincing them, persuading them to join. So it builds a lot of skills in terms of interaction. And for people who are afraid to go out with ISEC, um, I believe there's no harm in trying. There's no harm in you stepping out of your comfort zone, you going for exchange, or you just going for one experiential experience with ISEC, be it a conference, be it exchange that we talk about, be it internship. I mean, it's been proven, it's been done over time. For the 53 years as in Kenya has been existent, we have had a stream of over 1,000 people going for exchange and over 1,000 people who can testify the impact of exchange. So yeah, give ISEC a try and engage with ISEC.
thank you so much for that. Robert, would you like to go next?
Okay. For any person interested for like international opportunities, I think I join hands with Quincy when I say join ISEC. The reason I'm saying this because ISEC covers two main things. First of all, it gives you the awareness of such opportunities. I had a lot of friends who wanted to go abroad and they didn't know the opportunities that were there for them. So with ISEC, it gets to tell you that you have like internships and global volunteering, and that's like the first part, the awareness part, that the opportunities are there with the organization. That is one. Two, ISEC gives you a why to travel. As Hanifa said, ISEC allows you to travel with purpose. You're not just going somewhere. You're not just getting to another country. What are you going to do ISEC gives you a why of why are you traveling. With the why, I think you can easily sort the how. How you will travel, that comes after the why. But for many people, they do have the infrastructure or the resources to allow them to travel. They just don't know why they're traveling. When you join ISEC, it gives you the reason as why you should travel. So yeah, I think the answer to all the international opportunities and all the youth who are psyched about going abroad and going for international opportunities, I think the answer is join ISEC. Yeah. Hi, Muskan. The mic.
Hanifa, you can go next.
Okay, I'll not differ from the other two two panelists. Um, in addition to joining ISEC, also travel with ISEC because it gives you the exposure, but also it builds your network. I didn't know Robert until we met in Rwanda. Yeah, so Rwanda or when they came to Uganda, one of the two. So it gives you that kind of network, and also you're not the same after you go through ISEC programs. For example, you're not worried of ever going back to a given country. Let's say you travel to a given country for volunteering. The next time you want to go back to that same country, you're assured that you created friends. You have basically like a host family there again. So you're always welcomed any other time. ISECers will tell you that if they want to travel to any country, the last thing they have to get worried of is where to sleep because at least there is an ISECer there that they've met or their friend has met. So being hosted in a different country is not a problem. So what I would tell any young person is join ISEC, travel with ISEC, but also get out of your comfort zone. Sometimes opportunities are beyond our community, and you just need to expose yourself to the outside community, and you'll be able to see them. Yeah.
Okay, that's really nice. Trevor, you can go next.
All right, so I'll just echo what my colleagues have said in terms of, travel with ISEC and basically join ISEC. What I'll say just to add on top of that is, again, similarly, get out of your comfort zone. And by joining ISEC as a whole, you're getting out of your comfort zone because you'll be doing stuff that you don't do inside classrooms, you don't do in typical situations. For example, how many people say that they went abroad to do, for example, they participated in a Going Green project, like a Green Leaders project. You basically participated in climate action activities in another country. Like that's not something everyone does every day. So again, traveling with ISEC is really crucial. And as you heard, you're going to be able to form bonds through this traveling because you'll be met by ISECers in a different country, and maybe these people could end up becoming your friends. From what Quincy told us earlier, we had an intern who went to intern in another country and they're still working there. So you could end up meeting your next like big break through ISEC as well. And yeah, also the opportunity of being an ISEC is also mind changing. As I've said, like it's life changing because you get to experience stuff that you don't really get to experience typically in a academic aspect, like in your school life. It's not like any other like club organization that you join in because again it's entirely youth run and it's global as well. So you get to network with people from all over the world just by being an ISEC, and you get to get out of your comfort zone, grow in terms of leadership skills, not only just leadership skills, again, confidence, as I said, and also how you're able to manage teams, how you're able to solve problems. So I would just tell, similar to just what Quincy has said, again, just join ISEC and also ensure you engage with ISEC and its products, which are exchange and basically traveling with ISEC. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Trevor, and everyone else for your very wise words. I think I agree with all of you. It's all about taking the step. as a region, we have been for the longest time been characterized with solely political and economic fragmentation. And I think, despite the presence of the really rich cultural and historical ties that we have, we've been constantly labeled with just that. And this is really hindering our progress and development within the region. And I think it's really important that we all take the step in joining AIESEC in bridging those gaps and doing more to impact our society and be a part of the change. So, to everyone watching, you can find a blog with more information regarding this entire topic. Um, I'm seeing a question from someone asking, is there a cost for joining AIESEC as a member? Trevor or Hanifa, one of you can answer.
I can answer this. There is just a membership fee that you pay annually for ISEC in Kenya, like basically any ISEC that's in Kenya. You just pay 1,000 Kenyan shillings per year, and that's the only thing you pay. But typically, membership is just that, and that membership fee is just so that you as a member can get to enjoy your ISEC experiences. Yeah, it goes back to your experience.
Okay, that's great. Hanifa, is it the same for Uganda?
For Uganda, it's different. So joining ISAC in Uganda is entirely free, but depending on which local chapter you're connected with, you may be required maybe to purchase your local chapter shirt for identity. Yeah, but joining generally is free.
Okay, that's awesome. So anyone who wants to join ISAC within the East African region or outside of the East African region as well, we have ISAC globally. So yeah, you can just reach out to your local entity and they'll be able to give you the best way forward. Let's, I guess, take this as a lesson to join ISAC in breaking the barriers that we have created as society. Yeah, I guess Quincy and Robert got logged off for a minute due to network issues, but I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for joining this live and for our speakers. Thank you so much for engaging with me and giving me more information on ISEC and helping us as the youth of East Africa to know that we do have more options and there are opportunities that are available that are easily accessible and also affordable with this economy. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. I hope I'll be able to interact with you guys in another platform soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
You can go
Thank
first.
you.
So, okay, I'm so sorry for that. But yeah, thank you for giving us this opportunity.
We're honored to have you here. I guess this is the end of the live stream. For anyone watching, feel free to interact with us on all our social media platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. We also have blogs on our platform called speakup.net, speakupafrica.net. So you can go up as well and interact with us and give us your views and your opinions on regional integration and what we as the uh, community can do to improve that. Thank you so much for joining. Goodbye, everyone.